Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am currently in China. I am sitting in a park and you will see a lot of people passing by and probably they will look at me, what am I doing? They will stop and stare, so don't mind that. However, today I would like to talk a little bit something different, probably because it's been a while I haven't been sitting down and just chat to you. Instead of publishing Iranian videos, I think why not just sit down and talk and discuss about China, because I've lived here now for about a year and a half, and I think my perception over China or living abroad alone in general have changed or have improved. From the title, you probably will wonder when I will mention that why I'm leaving China. It will eventually come soon in the discussion, but right now I think I would like to start from the idea of moving abroad to any different countries from there is your home country would be challenging. Even though I'm Indonesian and China, both countries are considered to be Asian countries, I still had difficulties. I still have, as of now, even language barriers. I still have frustration over basic simple things that I want to do in day-to-day life. But I learned from moving abroad is that I had to build everything from the beginning again, from the scratch, meaning I have to build my own support system while I'm here. It's like back home, you have your family, you have your friends, you have your probably boyfriend and girlfriend. Everyone who is moving abroad to specific different countries will have difficulties in adjusting themselves into the day-to-day life, because you have to understand and you have to learn again how to figure out the system, like how the system works, from opening a bank account, right, withdrawing money in ATM, or even like figuring out navigating yourself, trying to talk to a taxi driver, trying to even ordering a menu, right? Things like that can be stressing you out over the time. Traveling is one thing, but moving abroad is a totally whole new different thing. It's like an extended period of time travel that doesn't stop, because when you travel you can quit. When you don't like a specific certain countries, you can quit and then fly to another place, whereas when you are living abroad you have to stay, you have to be committed and face that thing on everyday basis. So I think that was one of the very important stuff that I had to learn over the time, and especially in my first year of staying here in China. And so I had to build my own support system from the colleague, from figure out which people or which person that I can trust. You will need a lot of help from local people, from people who live here, who understand how this system works. As a disclaimer, I forgot, all of this that I've been discussing so far, or the things that I'm going to discuss, are based on from my experience. So if you are watching this, please take this opinion or comment as a grain of salt, because everyone's experience are different. The biggest elephant in the room, something that probably need to be discussed, is that where you move alone, of course you can't avoid the feeling of loneliness. Sometimes you want to hang out or mingle with the locals, but there is a certain point where you have a certain limitation as to how you be connected. I think this place becomes too noisy. I think I should move to a coffee shop. I'll see you in a bit. I'm going to have my first coffee of the day. Right, so I think for any Westerners, or specifically anyone that has never been to Asia in general and choose China to be their first country in Asia, there will be a major culture shock. Why? Because everything is different with the languages. Like there will be a lot and huge language barriers. People who are able to speak English are very rare. If you're traveling, you can get away with not speaking the language, right? But when you live abroad for extended amount of period, to the least like 6 months or even like a year, you are expected to be able to have the ability to understand or at least speak a little bit of the language that can help you survive. Actually, everything in China is in Chinese characters, and if they do have translations, which is very limited, it will be a broken English. So, or people would say it as a Chinglish, Chinese English. Internet here is blocked. If you don't know that major websites here are blocked, Facebook, YouTube, even what you're watching now, and Instagram, Snapchat, whatever that is, you need a virtual private network, VPN. I have my link down below. So if you have any questions as regard to how do I access YouTube while I'm in China, VPN is the only thing that saves me from doing that. But also at the same time, having that great firewall, what we call here as a great firewall, where the internet is all blocked, other than Chinese website, it helps me so much to detach myself from all those social media. People in China are glued to their phone, like they'll be doing this all the time, all day, every day, most times. But at the same time, being a community or commune society where a community is perceived to be highly regarded as more than as an individual, everything in China is catered for group, meaning, for example, like food, right? Like the portion is huge. Why? Because it is expected that you're eating with your friends or family or colleagues at the same time, right? So it's difficult to find one portion of food other than just basic noodles. If there is one thing that in modern China, everything is shifting towards technology, meaning like everything is now currently be done through technology. For example, if you want to find groceries, just try to do everything based on Taobao. You can find everything on Taobao, Chinese eBay. If you want to find electronics, right, for example, you can find on Jindong.com, which is like JD.com. Or even what else, like food delivery. You can just tap. If you can see that baby, oh, super cute. But if you can just tap. It is very, very convenient. If you're a foreigner, you can't open a bank account if you don't have any residence permit. So the next thing that I would like to discuss is in China being a country that only has one majority race. For those of you who are coming from Western countries and have very different look to what Chinese look like, you will have a lot of stare. A quite fun to being annoying type of stare, but not in a harmful way. One of my colleagues who is British, she doesn't even want to sign up for gym because of the experience of being stared at all the time, and it's not even convenient. You just want to have a normal life of doing things like that. I think what I would like to say is that when you live abroad, or specifically in China, don't get too offended too easily, right? Because you can get offended by people spitting, by the way how they talk so loud as if they're fighting to each other. No, they're just talking. It's just part of the way. It's considered to be rude, okay, in some other countries, but at the same time, well, you live in a different country. They have their own way of doing things. It may not be in line with what we think is right, but that's just the way it is. Moving abroad will give a huge improvement to yourself. I've grown so much from living abroad, even though it's only in China. The last point that I would like to discuss is why I'm living in China, because I think that's the reason why you click this video, and I've been mumbling too much about something else. My contract is finished by end of May, and as much as my school is begging or asking me to extend, and I was thinking about that, but last year I published a video about my frustration and disappointment about working with Chinese employer. Something that in this particular place I don't think I would like to continue. I'm still very much wanting to do lots of videos about China. I am still trying to get back to China. I would love to stay in another year in China, like a year or two. Even though a lot of people have a lot of misunderstanding about China, I love China. If I'm traveling I would tell that China is not like this, China is not like that. That's the thing about traveling, let alone living abroad, because you're here for extended time of period of understanding how the society works, how the system works, how things in that. I mean, there are plenty of things that, of course, is not perfect, but I am here not to judge. I am here not to criticize. I think you know better for them, but at the same time, sometimes they know better for themselves. I think I'm quite sad. I'm really sad, actually. I'm leaving in May. I'm coming back home. I haven't been home for a year. I will be home for about a month or two, I'm not so sure, and then I'll be traveling again for sure. And if I'm able to come back to China again and live for another year or two, then I'll be back in China. But if not, then we'll see what will happen. If you are interested in question and answer session, let me know. And if you are interested in that, post any questions down below, something that is normal question. Thank you so much for watching, for your support. Shout out to all of my patrons. Thank you for your consistent support. Thank you very much for those of you watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye bye.